Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the three most important questions, and in particular, filling out the category for experiences. You see, the mistake that many people make is that they don't set goals for the experiences they want to continuously have in life. Rather, they set goals for something that's rather arbitrary and is often BS, something called your career. You do not want to set goals for your career because when you do so, you're often putting yourself in a box. Rather, you want to set goals for the persistent experiences you want in life and who you want to be, and let your soul guide you to the right career. Now, to give you an idea of what I mean by this, I want to share with you another case study on the three most important questions. This is by Luminița Soviac. She was a Romanian girl who joined Mindvalley in 2012. This one blows my mind. Luminița Soviac joined us from Romania. She did this exercise at a team retreat. This piece of paper was written in less than an hour. And notice these things that she put down. She wanted to become an international best-selling author. She wanted to be a speaker, a photographer, a leader. She wanted to be an incredibly talented writer and photographer. Now, this one just really makes me believe in magic. Luminița, while working for Mindvalley, decided to start a blog. It's called purposefairy.com. She started writing on that blog, even though English was not even her native language. She ended up writing a post, 15 things to give up to be happy. Nothing happened for the first 6 months. Then a couple of people started sharing it on Facebook, and more people shared it, and more people shared it. Within a few months, that post was shared 1.2 million times on Facebook, making it, at that time in 2013, perhaps the most shared personal growth article in the history of Facebook. Penguin Random House, the big book publisher, called Luminița and said, "Hey, we really love what you're doing. Here's a large check. Will you write a book?" Luminița ended up writing the book, 15 Things to Give Up to Be Happy. She now used that money to travel the world, to become a writer, to become a photographer. Her photography is stunning. But get this, the story doesn't end there. Luminița was brought into my festival, A-Fest, as a photographer. And there, because she was coming to the festival, she came up to me and said, "Vishen, I would love to share my story on stage." And again, I decided to trust her and put her on stage. She shared her story on stage about surviving a brutal, abusive father. That story got picked up by the Goldcast Media Company. It went big and got 1 million views. Notice, so many of the things she wrote down came true, even though they were so disconnected. Be a speaker, be an international writer, be a photographer. Magic happened to bring all of these into her life. Luminița ended up leaving Mindvalley, and I was so proud of her. I helped write the foreword to her book. Notice, Luminița had no idea how to get to where she wanted to go. She had no idea how to make Penguin Books contact her and give her a publishing deal. She had no idea how to make a blog post become viral on Facebook. The universe figured it out for her because she got clear on who she wanted to be. And the universe connected those dots for her in ways so mysterious, I doubt her logical mind could have figured out those steps on her own. This is why it's important to understand. Let the means unfold on their own. Focus on the end goal. Now, when I look at my life, it's a similar story to Luminița. I've been a stage actor at 18, a dishwasher at 19, a stagehand at 19, a theater troupe director at 20, a Java programmer at 21, a photojournalist at 21, working at Microsoft at 22. I was vice president of a nonprofit at 23. I was unemployed at 24, a B2B salesman at 25, unemployed again at 25, in phone sales at 25, then director of sales by 26, then a meditation instructor at 27. I was a home-based entrepreneur working from Starbucks in my bedroom at 28. And that brings us to 2010. You see, I didn't know the three most important questions exercise back then. I didn't realize I was chasing means goals, which is why I was bouncing around so much. In 2010, I was chasing a prominent goal from the culturescape. You see, back in 2010, the dot-com industry was on fire. Investors and VCs were giving money to startups all around the world. I lived in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and the startup scene there was blossoming. So I decided I was going to start a company. I decided that what I wanted was the following. I wanted a fast-growing business. I wanted funding. I wanted press and media attention. I wanted money. I wanted a title, and I wanted the rewards from being a startup founder. So I pitched an idea, and I got $2 million in venture funding from a prominent investment firm. I was so excited. 6 months into this startup, I realized I hated my life. I realized that everything I was chasing was not stuff that came from my own soul, but was stuff that culture told me I had to do. Culture at that time told me that for me to be seen as a great entrepreneur, I needed venture funding. I needed to be part of the startup system. I needed to work my butt off. I needed to go through this whole process of creating a startup from scratch. But when I actually got there, I was miserable. 6 months into this startup, I decided to quit. I'd been showing up to work, semi-depressed for way too many weeks. And I politely told my co-founders, listen guys, I hate to disappoint you, but I just can't do this anymore. I want to give back my shares, give it to someone else who can come and replace me. I will support in every way I can, but I have to do what really makes my heart sing. And I made one of the smartest decisions I did that day. I quit. Now, what did I really want to do? When I looked at what I really wanted to experience in life, it was this. These are actual things I had written down in 2010. I wanted to be able to travel to exotic countries and beautiful locations around the world. I wanted to be able to stay at 5-star hotels with my family and experience luxury. I wanted to be able to travel with my kids and expose them to unique learning experiences. I wanted to have friends from all around the world who were amazing men and women driven by humanity-focused values and doing big things in the world. I wanted to meet many of the business and personal growth legends who inspired me. I wanted to be able to teach and put down on paper my personal growth models for the world. And I wanted my job to be spectacular fun. Those were actual things I put down. Now, what is the difference between this list and my first list? Well, let's look at my first list. I hit everything in my first list. Fast-growing business, check. Funding, check. Press and media attention, check. Money, check. Titles and reward, check. Yet I was showing up to work depressed every day and had to quit. Now, with my second list, something different happened. Somewhere out of nothingness, I had the crazy idea to start a festival. I called it A-Fest. And in 2010, I decided to shoot out emails and invite people to come and join me in a remote location in Costa Rica on a beach to create a festival around personal growth and surfing. We called it Awesomeness Fest back then. Later, we changed the name to A-Fest. It's now been 10 years, and this is what has happened. The company that I had started ended up going public. I didn't see too much profit or money from it because I had cashed out most of my shares. But very shortly after going public, it completely bombed and failed. The whole company was based on a bullshit idea to go public and cash out. No one, not me, not any of the other founders, were truly passionate about the product it was creating. A-Fest, on the other hand, never really made me money. But 10 years on, A-Fest is a spectacular event. I've met the closest friends in my life. I've been able to give my children this incredible adventure every year because of A-Fest. I've traveled the world. And what is crazy about A-Fest is that 10 years on, it's getting stronger and stronger. What's remarkable about this whole process is that A-Fest gave me exactly everything I put down, including things like this, toss parties in the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. I don't even know why my soul wanted that, but something made me write it down. And by a weird twist of fate, that ended up happening. We've had A-Fest parties in castles in the Mediterranean, rented our own private islands in the Caribbean. I look back at my life and I'm like, holy cow, wow, this is a dream. But I would never have conceived that from my logical mind. It emerged through the unfolding of a universe and through my soul bringing into play all the pieces I needed to really give me the life that made my heart sing. It came because I stopped focusing on the culturescape and I focused on what I felt was coming from within. What was missing for the first 34 years of my life when I was floundering around versus my life today? Clarity. I now know what I really want. And I now know to focus on end goals versus means goals. Don't get into the same trap. You do not have to waste the first 34 years of your life. You do not have to show up miserable because you are following the bullshit rules of the culturescape. Now, firstly, I want you to know that if you are in your 30s or 40s and you still feel you haven't figured it out yet, don't worry. You're going to live a long life. You do not have to have this all figured out. Study after study kind of shows that the most successful men and women truly experience success only around the age of 38 and older. So if you're under 38 and you still feel you're struggling, it's normal. It's part of life. But by doing this exercise, you accelerate your odds towards true success, the success of fulfilling your soul's desire rather than your parental, your societal, your cultural pressures. Now, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I want you in these 5 minutes to start writing down all the experiences you would love to have in life. You're going to write it down in the first column. Now, what are examples of experiences? It might be your love relationship. Who do you want to wake up to every day? What qualities does your love relationship have? It might be holding in your arms your newborn baby and experiencing being a mom or a dad. It might be travel. It might be adventure. It might be speaking on stage in front of thousands or writing a book that you've always wanted to write. It might be becoming an artist and expressing your creativity. It might be running a massive company and employing 1,000 people, but only if that is what really makes you happy, being a leader in that type of position. Your experiences must be end goals. In other words, you're doing them for yourself and not for anyone else. You're doing them not to attain something beyond them, but doing them because the act of attaining them fills you with joy. Now, does money come in? Absolutely not. Money is nothing more than a facilitator towards your end goals, but you will not set goals for money because money is a means goal. Alan Watts put it this way: forget the money, because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living. That is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. So let's get started. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and in this 5 minutes, start writing down the experiences you want to have in life. You may begin.
Until we can see the world is greater than we ever imagined it could be. eyes until we can see the world is greater than we ever imagined it could be. Covered in part by shadow and those aspects of ourselves until love lights the way.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that exercise. Tomorrow, we're going to answer the second part to this question. To have all of these experiences in life, who do I have to grow into? Who is the man or woman I need to be to make all of these experiences happen? We'll be addressing that tomorrow. Now, because we're going to be going into growth tomorrow, I want you to do a self-assessment with me if you have time. Many of you have already taken the Mindvalley Lifebook Assessment. It's available for free on life.mindvalley.com. Go ahead and take that assessment. I introduced it earlier in this program. It'll take you around 22 minutes. And when you do this assessment, you will see your life from a 360 perspective. And this self-assessment will help you understand where and how you need to grow. This is going to help you tomorrow. You do not have to do the assessment if you do not have time to invest 22 minutes today. But if you did, it will help give you further clarity for tomorrow's 3 most important questions exercise, where you'll be making a list of how you want to grow. I'll see you then. And if you feel compelled, go ahead and share some of the items from your experience list in our online community. You never know, you might inspire someone else, and you might also get ideas to add to your experience list by looking at what other people are putting down. Remember, there is no monopoly on dreams. Go ahead and share in the community.